So the year is 1562. This is 450 years ago.
Not so long after Columbus.
Yep. Ferdinand and Isabella are dead, and there's a new king of Spain.
Philip,
yeah, and he has a son.
The 17-year-old crown prince, his name's Don Carlos.
And one day,
He's in the royal lodgings. He's walking down a flight of stairs. He trips, he falls, he bashes his head against a door near the bottom of the stairs.
this is the crown prince, you say?
The crown prince of Spain.
So this is a national calamity.
It is a national calamity because he's the heir apparent, right? So well, at first it doesn't look like it's such a bad injury. He's still conscious, but then his head starts to swell to this kind of crazy size. He becomes delirious and feverish. He's struck blind.
Ooh.
And so at this point, the king comes, right? This is King Philip II. So he is at this time, he is the most powerful man in the world, right? So he basically controls all of the Americas. He controls much of Europe. The Philippines is named after him.
He was tight with the Pope.
At this time, the Pope and the king were kind of like, BFF.
Yeah.
So the whole Spanish court is going nuts. Across the country, people are seeing this, reading this as a kind of sign that God's very angry, right? And so they're fasting, they're doing these kinds of prayer processions, things like this.
And according to Latif, the king calls all the best doctors in Europe to come to Spain to help his son. And these doctors are trying everything.
They are drilling a hole in his skull.
To relieve the pressure?
To relieve the pressure. They are bleeding him and blistering him, and they are purging him to the extent that he has like 20 bowel movements within just like a certain few hours. They're like smearing all over the wound. They're smearing like turpentine and honey.
Man, poor Don Carlos.
But even after all of this, they sort of look at each other. They look at him, and it's kind of like he's gonna die.
So he's dying.
Yeah, he's basically on his deathbed.
So, at this point, according to Latif, the king goes to his son.
Legend goes that he kneels beside his son at his son's deathbed, and he makes a pact with God. The pact is, if you help me, if you heal my son, if you do this miracle for me, I'll do a miracle for you. Well, let's also remember that he's the most powerful man in the world at this point.
He is a god among men, really.
Yeah, hubristic or not, this is what he says.
Yep.
All of a sudden,